This is Dave Simney, 12-Minute Mentor, coming to you live from the office in the backyard. Here we are. This is the hammock. I try to spend a lot of my time here. It's a beautiful day today, and I just wanted to come and have a little fireside chat with you and just share with you some info that hopefully will help your journey and your endeavor in network marketing. There are a lot of people in the industry. There's a lot of reasons why people get involved, mostly because they like good products at a discount, or they like to share good things with their friends, maybe make a few hundred extra bucks. Whatever reason that you are considering doing direct sales or network marketing is okay with you. It's okay to do it at any level that you want, and it is good. That is why this industry is so awesome, because the overhead is very low, the potential rewards are very high. However, for those of you who seriously want to consider being a pro and getting to six figures in network marketing, I'm going to break it down for you very, very simply, because it really is not difficult. It just requires some very basic stuff. So let me share with you this. First of all, why am I qualified to say this? Well, hey, Bethany. Well, for 15 years, I've studied the industry, mostly on the corporate side. I've helped hundreds of people get to six-figure incomes as a vice president of our former company. And in the field, I have now been exactly 3 years in the field. Today, so you can wish me happy 3 years, I have been in the field. Now, how did I get to six figures? It took me exactly 9 months to get to six figures in network marketing. And not only have I maintained the six figures consistently, I have not one single time dropped below six figures in almost 2.5 years. So now, am I at the tip top of the compensation plan? No. Am I at the very top rank of the company? No. Do I generate a solid six figures? Yes. Is it residual? Yes. Does it require a full-time effort? Not at all. I maybe put in 10 to 15 hours of serious, intentional work every week at this current moment. Now, if I were to go crazy 60 hours like when I started, yes, I could absolutely get to where I'm going. And actually, we run in 90-day cycles. So what tends to happen is when you run like crazy with your hair on fire, it's not easy. It's not hard for me to have my hair on fire. But if you run like crazy for 90-day cycles, you need a rest. And some people can only run 1 or 2 90-day cycles before they hit burnout mode, before they start to see the results of their benefits compounding. You know, they give up too early. They give up too soon. So let me break it down for you. I have studied all the six-figure earners. I'm in all the groups on Facebook. I'm in all the elite chats. I talk to all the leaders. I surround myself with six-figure, seven-figure earners. And here's what I will tell you. Are you ready? Are you sitting down? Are you ready for the big secret? You have to be willing, on average, to personally sponsor 100 people during the career of your network marketing. I would give it, say, 2 to 3 years. Now, could you do it in 1 year? Yes, if you were very intentional and very gung-ho and very full-time. But you have to be willing, on average, to sponsor 100 people. Now, I hope you're digesting this, because some of you are like, wow, I can't even sponsor one. So don't get frustrated, because there's another way to do it. But the first way is to sponsor 100 business partners in the business. Now, what that means is that you are personally sponsoring 100 people. Now, if it took you 3 to 5 years, they call this the 5-year career. If this took you 5 years, but you were generating a residual income of six figures, would it be worth it? Yes. Yes, of course it would be worth it. We're going to open the bubbles for my little guy. Oops, he doesn't have any clothes on, so we got to be careful. Hey, this is what working from home does. There you go, baby. Okay. Now I got bubbles on my ear. Okay. Sorry. 5-second delay. Opening the bubbles. Here, just use that one. Okay. All right. Can we watch his little naked tush walk away? Is Facebook going to block us? How cute is that? Okay. He has a bubble machine, and it creates tons of bubbles. What's up, Dylan? So check this out. Where was I? Bethany, help me out. All right, six figures. How do we do it? You got to sponsor 100 people. If it took you 3 to 5 years, would it be worth it? Would it be worth it? In any other career, we're expected to go to college for 6, 8, 10 years to get to six figures. We're expected to work 40, 50, 60, 80 hours a week until we die, and then retire on 40% of our income. Would it be worth it for you to personally sponsor 100 people in the next year, 2 years, 3 years? You can work at your own speed, but would you give up before you did that? The average amount of people that you need to personally sponsor is 100 people. And it doesn't matter if those 100 people do anything. Here's the reality. My numbers are slightly different. I personally sponsored about 35 people in my first 9 months to get me to 6 figures. You don't know if it's going to be the first person or the second person that is your rock star. But the averages say 100 people. So you have to say to yourself, do I want to go pro? Do I want to be a professional? Do I want to make 6 figures in this residually? Why? Because the sale that I make, so let's compare it to real estate. In real estate, there's and in insurance and all that, you get residuals if you're a broker, but in real estate, you work really hard to sell a house, and then what do you got to do? Go do it all over again. In network marketing, when you build a business and a residual income, you get paid whether you show up or not. You don't have to go do it again. So if it took you 3 to 5 years to build, and today here I am on my 3rd year anniversary, and I'm thinking, wow, how is it that I did it? So I got to 35 people signed, and those 35 people, 3 people out of the 35, so basically 1 in 10 roughly, are where I get 80% of my residual recurring income. I focused on quality. I focused on working individually with people and showing them that I would show up even when they didn't feel like showing up. I was committed. I was dedicated. I did this full time. It can be done in your part-time, but you have to be committed to it. You have to show up every day, even when you don't feel like doing it. So is it easy to do? Yes. However, there are about 98% of people that just won't do it. Not because they didn't want to or they don't like the idea of a 6-figure residual income that comes every single month. Not because they didn't want to when they signed up or they weren't gung-ho for the first month or 2 or 3. But the second that there's problems, the winds of change, or somebody quits. You know, some of the top leaders have had 90% of their organization walk out the door and quit. Some people have had companies shut down. Fortunately, I've aligned myself with a company that's rock solid. I helped start the collagen company, so I know it's not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. But when you're on Facebook, showing everybody in the world all your problems and all the stresses and all the uncertainties and everything else, and you're out there following the gurus and doing everything right and buying all the programs and watching all the videos, but you're not networking with people to sign people up in your business, it's all for nothing. It's great to improve yourself. It's great to motivate yourself. It's great to show the world you're vulnerable. I get all of that. But what's really going to create residual income for you is putting points on the board. You got to put points on the board. What does that mean? I got to talk to the most people. Write this down. Whoever talks to the most people wins. It's that simple. I have a paid social life. I literally get to talk to new people every day and create relationships. Maybe they will do something, maybe they won't. But the hour that I spend talking and getting to know somebody and building a relationship and liking their posts and giving them some love and high fives and encouragement, the time that I spent is an investment in someone. Yes, I stand to benefit, of course, but I'm here to help that person. I'm here to encourage and inspire. And if you're wishy-washy, if you're in and out of 2 or 3 different companies, if you're representing this company because, oh, they have the best product and I use it for my sinuses, and then this company I use for this. No one wants to follow someone who's wishy-washy. You got to go all in or go freaking home. Stop telling me, oh, well, I'm going to have to do something else because this isn't working out for me. Oh, my sponsor doesn't show up. They're not giving me the kind of bonuses that this company's giving me, blah, blah, blah. Dude, you got to show up, you got to dress up, you got to be there for your team and be a leader that somebody wants to follow. On my 12-Minute Mentor page, I post a quote, be the leader that someone wants to take a picture with. It's not about how many selfies you can do or how many pictures of yourself on the beach that you can post. That's all fake book stuff. It's building your brand. All these gurus, it's one big walking freaking selfie. All they do is take selfies and do quotes. I feel really weird putting my name by a quote. I'll just say that. That's why I have 12-Minute Mentor, because it doesn't have to be David Simney. I have a lot of quotes that I have made up myself, but I even have a problem putting my name by it because I feel like it's like, oh, how big is that guy's ego? I don't even care if anybody knows my name. You know why? Because the check is the same. The money clears the bank every single month without fail, like clockwork. So guys, if you are serious about making 6 figures in direct sales and network marketing, you got to be willing to sponsor 100 people to get there. And if it takes you 1 a month, then that's your ratio. If you can do 10 a month, then you can do it in a year. If you can do 5 a month, then it might take you 2 years. If you do 3 a month, you do the math. But you have to be willing to put in the time and the effort to sign up business partners. And if you are in a company with just one product, or they can't figure out the shipping, or there's issues, or the comp plan's changing every 5 seconds, if you're in one of those companies where you just feel like it's impossible, you got to drop the zero and get with the hero. Find something that everybody's going to want to use on a monthly basis, and if you're not in direct sales, ask yourself, how hard am I working for somebody else to get somebody else rich? So seriously, check yourself before you wreck yourself. We all have to work hard. Working hard is not a problem for most people. Most people are willing to put in the time and effort. But ask yourself, at the end of 5 years, what am I going to have for this? What am I going to show for it? Are you going to show up, get your paycheck, and then have your residual bills, and then at the end of the month, you're just barely paying your bills, just barely paying your rent? What are you building for yourself? Oh, but you say, to be an entrepreneur, I got to have my own website, and I got to have staff and employees. My friend Sandy, let me tell you about my friend Sandy. 2 years ago, she was making $4,000 a month with our business, and then she decided to quit her job and start a Subway shop, not some kind of a sub shop. And my friend Sandy just came back to me last month and said, whoever told me starting a Subway franchise was easy is a liar. It was the worst nightmare for her, 24/7. Now, I could have said, I told you so. I begged her to do network marketing full time, but she opened the sub shop, and they gave her all kinds of promises and empty promises. But what she really signed up for is 10 years of misery, because if she's not there, someone's stealing the salami out the back door. Somebody is giving their friends extra piles of meat when they're not looking. And there's employees and headaches, and then nobody shows up to buy food, and then you're working on Labor Day. Like, really? Like, who signed up for that class? Here's what you want to do. Work in network marketing, work for a company that has a residual income, that doesn't have to have overhead. You do not have to have employees. You do not have to have headaches. All you got to do is be a good person, be a good friend. You got to be willing to talk people through their fears. You got to be able to talk people through their weaknesses and their hard times. You got to be willing to stand alone when nobody else will stand, when there's challenges. You got to be willing to be that person that's stronger than your fears. And if you can get out of your own way, and if you can let all these dream stealers go pound sand, all these naysayers and all these people, these family members that think they're your family and they can tell you anything and break you down and make you feel bad, if you can rise above that and say, I'm going to do this or die trying. Why? Because I believe that this business model is power. You don't think this business model has worked for me? Look at my house. Look at my life. Look at that little child. I have been here for the last 2.5 years. He was born in September of 2016. That little guy, Colton, right there. And I am here every single day for him. He doesn't know what to do when dad leaves. That's why I do this. Not because I know I'm going to work hard. I've worked hard my whole life, making other people rich. And then when I got out in the field, this is 3 years ago today that I got in the field, I found residual income, and I haven't let it go. And I don't work 50, 60, 70 crazy hours a week. I don't commute in traffic. I don't have to do that. I have choices. I have power. Was it worth 3 years of my life? Absolutely. Did I work full time? Did I take a big leap of faith and a big risk? Did I have to set aside a year for a full cushion financially to make it happen? Yes. But some of you, maybe you have a breadwinner in your family, and maybe you're working this from your home and you're able to do this full time. I would recommend highly, whatever your goals are, that if you feel that this industry is for you, then I would just go all in and sponsor as many people as you can, and just love on them, support them, and see what happens. But don't give up after 6 months or a year. Don't give up. And don't feel like every single time somebody calls you and blows it in the wind and tells you your company's this or your company's that, stick with it. You know, obviously if there's problems or you're with a brand new company and there's all kinds of weird issues, you got to leave. But the people that leave, I just talked to one of my leaders who has a friend who's been in 5 different companies in 2 years. They went from the beach product with the coaching, and then they went to the wine, and then they went to the CBD, and now they're over here doing this and that. And you're like, dude, where's your credibility, man? Where's your credibility? I get it. You gotta find the spot, the place that speaks to your heart and speaks to your soul. I get that. But dude, if you've got the right company, if you have a compensation plan that's fair and there's people making 6 figures or 7 figures, it probably works. If you've got leadership that you can trust, if they can ship the products on time, if they're good products and they work, and you have got a mentor or a sponsor or someone that's willing to take time with you to show you the ropes, then you know what? You've got a system that you can win with. So don't blame anybody else. Don't blame anybody else. Look in that mirror every day and say, how bad do you want it? How bad do you need it? And if the answer is yes, I want it. If you believe that driving to work every day and working 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week to make somebody else rich, coming home being broke, tired, exhausted at the end of the month, and living for Fridays, living for weekends instead of Mondays, if that's you, dude, drop the zero and get with the hero. Make a decision and say, hey, how do I do it? What's the overhead? Because the overhead is not very high. Just make up your mind and do it. It's not that difficult. So guys, I hope this is resonating with you. I hope I showed you a little bit of insight. It's not just meant to be motivational fluff. This is reality. This is what we've done. You can do it. I've had a brand new wave of momentum, which I'm super excited about. I did get a little comfortable there for a while. I'm a human. You know, I got a little comfortable with the income and the money and just on cruise control. It's easy to do. We're all human. I'm not this guy that like wants to be on the stage and the center of attention. I just want to, you know, make a good living residually. And so, yeah, I got a little comfortable there. That's probably why I'm not at the top of the comp plan, but I'll tell you this right now. Hitting that rank in our company of elite and having a 6-figure income for the last 2.5 years has been a huge blessing in my life. I am no different than anybody else. I suck at social media. I suck at branding. No one can spell my name. I don't take selfies on every beach. I don't even take a ton of selfies. I say to myself, maybe I should. I don't have a big branding program with 25,000 people in my brand. But you know what? I support you. I show up. I will outwork anybody. And I'm not afraid to get on here and tell you how I feel on a Facebook Live. I'm not afraid to put myself out there. I'm not afraid to stand behind my products. I'm not afraid to go to bat for people. And I'm not afraid to stand up for what's right. And if you can get a little fire in your belly and you can get on the confidence train, if you can get on the getting rid of your fear, and you can believe in yourself, you can do this. It is the right vehicle. It is the right industry. So share this video if you see somebody that wants to tag your teams. You know, follow me at 12 Minute Mentor if you want. But seriously, you guys, you've got to get on with the program. Stop playing halfway. Play full out. Go pro, as Eric Worre says. You don't need a guru. You don't need a program. You don't need to pay somebody every month, even though I do mentoring. You don't need it. You know what you need to do? You need to show up every day and sponsor people. Talk to the most people and you will win. Build relationships, whether it's on Facebook or outside of Facebook. Imagine this. I'll leave you with this last tip. This business is like a giant lake, and there's a bunch of fish in the lake. Some are small, some are big, okay? If you want to catch more fish, you got to have multiple poles in the water. What are the fishing poles in the water? 1 is Facebook, right? 2 is Facebook Messenger. It's where you build relationships. 3 is who you meet in person. 4, it's your emails and your network. 5, it's people at events that you go to that are targeted. 6, it's your all your warm market list. It's the list that you make. 7, it's going through your cell phone and text blitzing people to ask how they've been doing and what they've been up to. Here's 7 or 8 different ways right there where you can talk to people. And if you can go out there and actually talk to people, then be a human being and look them in the eyes and actually, have a conversation. I had an hour and 5-minute phone call with one of my new business partners 2 days ago. She was like, wow, thank you for your time. I'm like, no, thank you for your time. It's so old-fashioned to get on a phone and actually have a conversation with somebody. It goes a long way. So when you're early in the game, you don't have the luxury of these 7-figure earners to sit here and like, oh, I can only talk to you through chat. Like, dude, get on the phone, build relationships, figure out what makes people tick, how you can serve them. And if your mindset is, I want to serve other people, I want to show up for you, to support you however I can, and I even want it more for you than you want it for yourself, then people will follow. Then people will sign up with you on your team. You can do it. You don't have to be wishy-washy. Just know where you're going and just know the way, go the way, show the way. That's what leaders do. All right. And if you run out of people to talk to, just get back on Facebook and go to Instant Messenger and say, hey, I like your dog. Where'd you get it? And now you have a conversation. And then they're going to check out your profile. And then they're going to see if this is somebody I would like to know, like, or trust. And then maybe it's 6 months down the road and maybe they show up and they buy your product. And maybe a year down the road, hey, I loved your product. They lost a lot of weight with it. It's making me look good. Hey, so I noticed you're doing business. But if you're the wishy-washy, every day you've got the answers, you're preaching something that you don't do, you're talking about how to crush it in network marketing, but you've never made more than a comma check with $1,000. Dude, humble yourself. Bring yourself back down and just put in the work. Just put in the work. Put in the time. Work on yourself. Don't worry about what other people are doing. I could easily have quit this business 6 times because I wasn't at the top, or I didn't grow the Facebook followers or fans like I thought I needed to. It's all hogwash. You know what it is? You need 2 or 3 good people that are with you for life. And if it takes you one person a year to get that one person, and it took you all year, but they're with you for life, they're in it, and you're dedicated, then who cares? Yeah, it's worth every ounce of the energy. But if you don't show up, you don't win. If you don't play, you're going to guarantee to lose. So that's it. That's all I got. That's my best. I hope you guys are fired up. I hope you will go out and win. September, October, November, 90-day cycle. Put yourself on that stage. Get yourself that promotion. Just put in the time, you guys, please, for yourself. There's no better industry in the world. No better industry in the world. As Eric Worre says, hey, it's simple. What does he say? It's easy, but it's not simple. I don't know if that makes sense. Something like this. It's just a numbers game. You just got to be willing to show up and don't worry about what everybody else is thinking or saying or any of that. I'll put myself out here. I don't have a problem with it. Just go live, tell people what's going on, tell them what you're doing, talk about your product, go live, and then go comment and go create some relationships. It's never been as easy as it is now with social media to build a 6-figure income, and you can do it. All right, tag your friends. Share this video, like it, follow me, 12-Minute Mentor. I don't know. That's what I got. I just felt fired up today. Hope you guys like it. Let's have some comments. Thank you guys for watching. Love you guys.